Hi, this is Todd Baker, and welcome to episode 1 of The Prosperous Agent. Today is September 14th, 2012, and I'm broadcasting today from my home office in Prosper, Texas. And if you are receiving this email with this YouTube link, I'm also going to put a link to an MP3. So this has been converted to an MP3 that you can download and listen to. And I encourage you to do that because let me tell you where this is going to head. And before I get into the purpose and the goal and today's show topic, where this is going to head is that I am building a website that is going to be able to house the video, MP3 audio download, and also links and show notes. And I'm going to be posting it up once a week. It should be done in the next few weeks. It's called theprosperousagent.com. If you go there, you can just see a shell of it. It's just not, the functionality is not quite there. I need to finish it. So while that's being built, I'm going to deliver the show via email. But one of the things that I think you'll find that's fantastic is this. The top folks in our industry, the very tops, and I'm going to an event in October with the brightest minds in the loan origination and some in the real estate industry as well, in terms of trainers in October. Okay, and then throughout our normal day-to-day lives and our careers, there's, Keller Williams is a great example. They have training all the time. I know if you're not with Keller's, your franchise or your broker has training all the time. I know my company, we have a compliance officer now. She puts on literally 3, 4, or 5 webinars a week. It's fantastic stuff. No one has time to attend it. Unless it's mandatory, no one attends, or very few people attend. I've asked her actually to record those because the reason is during the middle of the day, that's your production time. Okay, so it's hard to stop and take and train during the middle of the day. The next thing is if what you're doing, you're training by video, the problem with that is video requires you to watch. Like on this video, you're not going to watch this video for an hour. I've got maybe 3 to 5 minutes. This one probably going to go a little longer than that. But the reality of it is you just simply don't have the time. But here's the beauty of a podcast and an audio downloadable file is you can take that and you can put it on your iPhone, your smartphone. You can listen to it while you're jogging, while you're working out, while you're driving your car. And let me tell you what I've done, guys. I've eliminated the news. I do not listen to radio anymore. I've eliminated news out of my life. Local news, political news, financial news, that's all gone. Okay, so it's sort of weird because it's like living in a whole new world. I'm making my own reality every day. So I don't have to deal with any of that, right? And so when I'm in my car, I'm listening to audio downloads of things that are training me and help me learn every day. So that's what this show is going to be geared to do. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you also share this with friends that you think they're, and colleagues in the real estate profession that you think they could benefit from it. So the number one purpose to start is this. We're going to build a community, and I want to take mortgage planning practices, which are very high-end and different than what the traditional lender does. And I want to integrate those in with you, the real estate professional, okay? And the reason I want to do that is because by doing so, you and I, we can deliver unprecedented value to the end consumer, our client. Now, what that does for you is it's going to create massive separation in the marketplace from you versus your competitors, okay? When someone's shopping around, they're trying to figure out what agent to use, you have just an entirely different message, and we'll go into that in greater detail downstream. All right, so the second thing is that I want to embolden you to share my passion, and we're going to talk a lot on this show about not just nuts and bolts of how to do a deal and how to negotiate a deal and some great scripting to use, but I'm going to get involved with how the loan process works, what closing costs really are so that you know what are some of the tactics to negotiate. We're going to go much, much deeper, but I'm also going to really challenge you to expand your thinking to this. We are in one of the most unique industries on earth because the United States is one of the few places that have the property rights and the legal protections around those that exist on the planet. And the average person can go out and buy a piece of property, buy a home with money they're going to spend anyways. And then with you and I, okay, teaching them how to manage it properly, they can end up owning multiple assets and being financially independent and self-sufficient at a very early age. Or let's say they're in their 50s, they can still make it to retirement and truly have a retirement. No one else can do that. A financial planner can't do that. A CPA can't do that. A life insurance salesperson can't do that. We can do that. So we are now the most powerful force out there. And no one's selling this on the marketplace. It's just, here's your payment, here's your rate, here's your house, next in line. So we're going to be a wholly different level than our competitors. And the third part of the purpose is is we want to share ideas. We're going to build community. We're going to share ideas, and we want to help you create a legacy-type business, a business that'll run even when you're not there. Teach you team building, teach you how to get the business to that point so you can actually take a vacation. So you could theoretically have a business you could pass along. And a business that creates such a surplus that it's not just a blessing to you and your family, but a blessing to those around you, those neighborhood, those charitable, your church, the things that you have a passion that you like to contribute to have a surplus to do that. So those are some of the goals of the show. Now, like I mentioned, we're going to go in depth each week into a topic, and it might be negotiation, it might be scripting, it could be just something that happened this week as an example, and go over how those were handled, what the resolutions were, what worked, what didn't work. I'm going to get real deep into spear marketing and really how to generate a referral-based business. I have built a very robust business using techniques of Michael Mayer. Several of you know Michael Mayer. Some of us are working on those now. They do work, and we'll be going over those and sharing success stories. So it's going to be a great time to learn, and I look forward to sharing some time with you on a weekly basis. So let's talk a little bit about today's topic. I'm going to keep it brief because this has already gone on longer. Let's see what we're at, about 6 minutes. So today's topic is, what does it mean to be a real estate professional? Or what does it mean to be a professional, period? Now, if you think about it, traditionally what the professions were considered to be were you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a CPA. Well, really that's ridiculous because they go to school, they then get specific training, right? They get specialized knowledge, a la Napoleon Hill, and then they go out and they get a license. Well, that's what we've done. We've all been to school in some form or other. Then we got specialized training, whether it's in the lending field or as a real estate professional, and then you have license. So the difference is, though, there's a lot of people that have licenses to do loans or license to sell and buy real estate, but that doesn't make them a professional. Okay, to be a true professional means that we get down and do all the little things it takes to add value to our client. Okay, for example, I cannot tell you how many real estate agents I meet, okay, that think that all they need to do is put their client on a prospect gateway search, and that's adding value. Okay, believe it or not, you still need to go out and develop the skill set of actually helping your client find the right house. There's some agents I work with that I know when they have a client that within 7 to 14 days it's going to be under a perfectly negotiated contract on the terms that we wanted, with closing costs paid typically to the maximum amount possible. Okay, and it'll be the right house, not the perfect house, but the right house for that client. That's their skill set. They're a professional, and they gave the client a prospect gateway search to get an idea of what they're looking, but then they went out and they found the house. I have other real estate agents to go out and actually preview properties for clients. Okay, knowing how to handle the negotiations, knowing how to handle the inspections. There's a huge difference between being a professional and just being someone doing it. Just like in the loan business, there's a big difference between, most loan officers, what people experience is this: they call up, they run their credit without even checking their income to see if they qualify. They just run their credit, they give them a quote for a payment, and that's it. There's no strategy. There's no, hey, here's some different options you have. Just, here's your payment, here's your rate, next in line. That's not a true professional. That's a McDonald's order taker. That's what most loan officers really are. And I'm not meaning that to be critical of my competition. I've got some really good professionals out there. They're mostly within the mortgage banking community. But you go to a retail bank, they're just order takers. You go to an internet bank, same thing. They're order takers. They just take a call. They're a prospect. They process through and on to the next one. So let's start thinking about how to be a professional. And I'm going to email out with today's show a PDF that's entitled 101 Reasons to Use a Real Estate Agent. And I'm not going to go over any of them on today's show, but what I am going to do is I'm going to challenge you this week to get the PDF. First of all, you can take it, you put your own name on it, and you can use it as part of your marketing material. It's a great piece, collateral piece to send out early in the process when you first meet a prospect. When you first meet a prospect, what is it that you do with that prospect? That would be a good piece to give them. But also as an exercise, I'd like you to go through and just go over them. Sometime this weekend, print it out, and just when you're sitting, and do it in the evening when you're sitting around, you're relaxed, okay, and you have some fun time working on your business rather than in your business. Doing some creative time, going through those and pick out the ones that, hey, that's something that I have a passion for, and see if you can't start using that to build some scripting and some unique selling propositions around the proposition of why you need to use a real estate agent, and start to use that as a platform then to build a script so that when you're talking to a new buyer or a new listing or prospective seller, that you can sit down and say, hey, look, I'm a real estate professional. Here's why. Here's what I do. And here's why I'm different. So anyways, I'll put that in, attach it as a PDF on this email. And I hope you've enjoyed this. It's this short broadcast. This is, like I said, the first, and what I foresee the show evolving into is a weekly episode. Probably it's going to be 5 to 10 minute video to start, and then that'll flip into a shorter video with a longer podcast that you can download and listen to, where we'll really dig into content. So if you guys need anything, give me a holler. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or give me a call. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.